Chapter 12. Estella Gets Married. One day I was wandering through the noisy bustle of Cheapside, feeling completely out of place, when suddenly Mr. Jaggers caught my arm. "Out to dine?" he asked. "Come dine with me. Wemmick's coming too." We went to his home on Gerrard Street, and dinner was served as soon as we arrived. Jaggers asked, "Did you send that note from Miss Havisham to Pip?" "No, sir," Wemmick replied. "Here it is." Jaggers handed me the short note in just 2 lines. Miss Havisham said she wished to see me again about the matter I had raised last time. "You'll go down?" "Yes, I think I'll go at once." It was settled that I would go tomorrow. Then Jaggers gave me the blow. Bentley Drummle had married Estella. I tucked Miss Havisham's note into my pocket and set out the next day. With Estella now completely out of my life, everything felt hollow and changed. At Sattie's house, I found Miss Havisham sitting alone by the hearth, lost in thought. When she looked up and saw me, she said in a whisper, "Is it real?" "It's me, Pip," I replied. "Mr. Jaggers gave me your note yesterday, and I came as soon as I could." Thank you," she said. There was a strange fear on her face, as though she was frightened of me. "I want to talk about what we discussed last time," she said. "I want to show you I am not made entirely of stone. Maybe you won't ever believe that I have a human heart." I told her how I had hoped to complete the transaction out of my own means to help Herbert, but how it was not possible now. "How much is still needed to finish the arrangement?" she asked. £900. "If I give you the money, will you keep my secret as you've kept your own? Will it give you more peace of mind?" "Yes," I said, "much more peace." "Are you very unhappy now?" "I'm far from happiness, Miss Havisham, but I have other causes of disquiet than you know of. They are the secrets I had mentioned." She stood and pulled a small ivory tablet from her pocket and wrote on it, "This authorizes Mr. Jaggers to pay you the money. Use it as you see fit for your friend." "Thank you, Miss Havisham," I said, and took the leaf from her. As she handed it to me, I saw her hand tremble. "My name is on the top," she said. "If one day you can ever write under it the words 'I forgive her,' even if it's long after I'm dust, please do." "Oh, Miss Havisham," I said, moved. "I can write that now. You made painful mistakes, but I have no bitterness in me towards you. I need forgiveness more than I could ever give it." She turned away, and to my shock, she suddenly dropped to her knees, hands folded, and cried out in anguish. "Oh, what have I done? What have I done?" "If you're talking about what harm you did to me," I said gently, "let me say, very little. I would have loved Estella no matter what." "Is she married?" "Yes. Oh, what have I done?" Dusk had fallen when I stepped out into the fresh air. I had a strange feeling that I would never return here again. I lingered a little, looking around, letting the fading light sink in. I called the woman to let me out. Suddenly I felt I should go back and check on Miss Havisham. A childish instinct, but strong. I returned upstairs. She was sitting with her back to me, motionless. As I was turning to leave quietly, I saw a sudden flash of fire, and then, horrifyingly, she came rushing at me, screaming, covered in flames, the fire leaping high above her head. I had a double-caped great coat on and another thick coat over my arm. Quickly I got them off and closed her with them, threw her down and got them over her. I dragged the great cloth from the table for the same purpose, dragging down the rotting remnants of her life with it, and smothered the fire. She fought and screamed, unaware. We struggled like enemies locked in battle. She was insensible, and I was afraid to have her touched or move. Assistance was sent for, and I held her until it came. When I got up on the surgeon's coming, I found that both my hands were burnt, though I hadn't felt a thing. Miss Havisham had been severely burnt, but it wasn't hopeless. The real danger was the shock to her system. Though her dress was nearly gone, she still had that haunting bridal look, now wrapped in white cotton and a loose sheet. Stella was in Paris. I made the surgeon promise to write to her immediately. I contacted Matthew Pocket through Herbert the next day and left the rest to him. There was nothing more I could do. I returned to London. My hands were dressed during the night and again in the morning. My left arm, burned up to the elbow, was now in a sling. The fire had even singed my hair, though my face was unarmed. Herbert went down to Hammersmith to inform his father and, returning, devoted the day to me. He was the kindest of nurses, and I was deeply grateful for his patient tenderness. He had also spoken with Provis in my absence and learned details of his life. He was very communicative and told me more about his life. You remember, Herbert said, how he broke off telling us about a woman who caused him great pain. Yes, I said, tell me everything. It seems that the woman was young, jealous, and full of vengeance. The deed may not have served such a terrible name, but she was tried and acquitted. Mr. Jaggers defended her. Another and much stronger woman was the victim. Who began it, how fair or unfair it was doubtful. But how it ended was not doubtful, for the victim was found throttled in the Lerne. The woman was acquitted. This acquitted young woman and Provis had a little child, of whom Provis was exceedingly fond. On the evening of the very night when the object of her jealousy was strangled, the young woman presented herself before Provis for one moment and swore that she would destroy the child which was in her possession, and he should never see it again, and vanished. Did the woman keep her oath? There comes the darkest part of Provis's life. She did. He seemed to have felt some pity for her, and fearing to be the cause of the child's death, he kept himself dark and out of the way and out of the trial. After the acquittal, she disappeared, and he lost the child and the child's mother. I want to know, Herbert, particularly, whether he told you when this happened. Let me remember. He said it was about 20 years ago. How old were you when you came upon him in the little churchyard? I think in my 7th year. Then this happened maybe 3 or 4 years before that, and he said you reminded him of the little girl he lost, who would have been your age. Herbert, I said slowly, the man we are hiding by the river is Estella's father.